Hi, and welcome back to the Maritime Mentor Blog discussion. So today I'm talking to Marcy Williams, Director of Crew Services for Northrop and Johnson in Fort Lauderdale. Marcy's been in the yacht crew recruitment business for over a decade and has tremendous knowledge of the industry. I asked her what advice she would give to a newbie starting out in the industry, and this is what she had to say.
Well, first of all, have a good resume, and a good resume doesn't necessarily mean work experience, but tell a bit about yourself, your upbringing, your education, any extracurricular activities or interests that you have is always good, because that could strike up something in common with the person that you're interviewing with. Also, I do get from captains a lot, they want to be able to have someone that has higher education so that they can have an intelligent conversation with the owners and or guests. So anybody who, a little bit more than high school would be preferable, because you're more educated, and it's a service industry. So you have to be able to speak properly with guests and owners, and that's it.
So Marcy, as a professional, obviously you see thousands of CVs and you have to whittle them down to 3 or 4 to pass on to a captain. So what do you look for in a CV that makes people stick out from the crowd?
Again, like before, I just said something that they have an extra something, whether it be an extra skill, whether they worked, guys that come from Australia that have worked on a farm, that's hard work and it takes dedication. So that's always a good sign. As far as the working goes, a higher education and maybe a special interest that could be exciting, whether they could be a video, like everybody these days is doing videography, drone flying and stuff like that. So if they have that ability, that would be great, because they can make keepsakes, let's call it, for the charter guests and for the owners, videoing their trip, editing it, sending them off with a flash drive with their trip. So anything extra other than, hi, I'm John Smith and I want to work on a boat.
Okay.
And then also well presented, even if it's, a lot of times we get a lot of CVs, but you as a captain would also get a lot of CVs as well. So if you see the little picture that's up there and their hair's messy, you can tell it's a selfie, they've cropped out somebody but left half their arm in, that strikes me as that they're just not taking the time, and they're not, this is what they want to do. So you have to be, it's a meticulous job. So you need to present yourself that way and not sloppy. We don't like sloppy.
Okay. We don't like sloppy. Got that
No.
One. And one of the things that's been coming across so much lately from other people I've spoken to is about attitude and the willingness to work and stuff like that. What do you think is a good way, or we could advise somebody on how to put that attitude into their CV?
Well, I think that's a good question. I think, with the kids these days, unfortunately, mine included, because they somewhat feel entitled that they're owed something, and when they're really not. You have to work your way up. So showing that you've taken initiative, that it's hard on a resume because it's only pen to paper or computer, whatever, you know what I mean? But I like to try and get to meet everybody in person. So you do want the right attitude. You want them to be able to, shake, well, not these days anymore, but you'd like them to shake your hand and come across professional. And I think a lot of times if they go into a little bit of detail about what you've done in the past, whether it's yachting or not, it could show your attitude, that you strive to better yourself, or you strive to improve, even if it's going from one job to another job, but if you go up in your duties or whatever it may be, to show that you have initiative.
Well, there's some interesting stuff there, eh? Your CV is obviously the most important thing to get right when looking for a job. Make sure there are no spelling mistakes or glaringly bad grammatical flaws that give an impression of a poor education or sloppiness. As has been mentioned before in some earlier interviews, an extra skill is well received. I think that also portrays a good attitude in as much as you have invested the time and in some cases the money to improve yourself and stand out from the crowd. Another recurring point was the ability to operate a drone or videography. This seems to be a developing trend. Also, anything that you've done that exhibits dedication and willingness to work hard. And remember, we don't like sloppy. In my book, So You Want to Be a Deckhand, I went into quite a lot of detail about producing your CV. So over the next couple of discussions, I'm going to be putting a video together on how you should be focusing your CV towards getting the message across that you have the right attitude. Anyway, till then, thanks for watching and good luck with the job hunt.